Welcome back to episode 10 of Building in Public. We're in double digits, and this is a weekly series where I sit down, or in this case, cook because my time is limited today, and go through the weekly lessons and learnings that I've had throughout business and in life in the hopes that you can steal them and take these bite-sized bits of information and win. I'm a big believer that a high tide raises all boats, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so we are still currently at 8 active clients. That has not changed. As I mentioned, with Black Friday just kind of wrapping up, there's probably going to be no real clients coming on board in any real capacity until probably next week. If I'm being fully honest, we have 2 potential leads for clients that we actually helped during Black Friday under the promise that we would sit down, have a coffee, and kind of go through what could be possible beyond just that one-off engagement, which I usually highly advise against, especially from like an agency model. I think once you take that leap from solo entrepreneur, freelance, to a company, a proprietary limited, which is what I am with the taxes and all the fun stuff, doing the small once-off jobs don't really serve much of a purpose, and you really need to bank on MMR, like monthly recurring revenue. And the one-off ones obviously just don't do that. But with these 2, I knew that I could over-deliver during this period, get them incredible results, and then put myself in the best position to leverage that in a conversation moving forward. So although I charged 100% fairly as well for what my price was, it's going to be really interesting to see, is this a way to acquire clients moving forward, and does it actually pay off in the end? I guess only time will tell. So maybe just a bit of an honest update, which I think is probably worth having, which is after Black Friday, I'm exhausted mentally and probably not physically, that'd be an exaggeration. But working in this space during this period of time is like, this is like the Super Bowl. This is the weekend. This is the month. This is the time of the year where your company can make its entire monthly revenue in one day if it's done right. And I guess where my company comes in is the creative side. So we don't really know how effective our creatives have been until this time of the year, really, and seeing how hard they can go. And being fully transparent, we've had a lot of success, and we had 1 or 2 that didn't really hit the mark. And that's definitely a video for another time about why I think that went wrong and how I think you guys can avoid that moving forward. But for the ones that won and for the ones that really succeeded, as much as I would love to take credit for the content, it really is just a reflection of the incredible community that the brands have built. And I think what I've observed over the last 3 years has obviously been a shift to such a founder-led business, especially for everything, for e-com, what we do, all of it. And I think the ones that won the most were the ones who were more active as founders in their business and online. So the whole old methodology of just like pushing money into a brand that spits out money on the other end is long gone. If you're looking to make quick, easy, and great money, starting a brand is not where I would go, but it is where I'd start. So honest update, tired, really excited, wondering what's next, because now we're going into Boxing Day sales, and just the rest of the years are also just a big mush of just sales and content, and yeah, it's a big one. And if you want to kind of see what a week of that looks like, I did put out a vlog last week that kind of breaks down what a Monday to Sunday looked like during November. So check that out. It's really insightful. I think in hindsight, I should probably explain more about the reasoning why I do things versus just showing me doing them. But yeah, really excited with how it turned out, and probably a really good segue into what we are currently building. All right, so what we're currently building is a creative roadmap to get 10,000 followers in 90 days. Now, that's also kind of like a play on what we're trying to do here on this channel, and I guess overall in general is build more of a community and audience for myself so I can launch a product in the future that will help brand owners basically conquer their online sales, build a profitable brand, and build community. The problem is, although I've built an agency, a 6-figure agency, I have no proof other than the work, other than my clients' testimonials, which is great. But in terms of me, Tom, I have no proof. So it is now the burden of my animosity that I have to push myself more to find more people, to sell to more people, to ultimately just help more people. And honestly, that is a massive video. That is an entirely separate video that is coming out this Wednesday. And it's going to be going through how we, meaning myself, ideate the ideas, the content pillars, the types of content, how to remove friction, setting up the stand, everything. So if you've ever wanted to know and see someone start a challenge before they show like where they're already at, that'll be that video. So leave a reminder, come back Wednesday. It's gonna be great, I promise. All right, so let's talk about the learning of the week, which I think flows perfectly on from the fact it's Black Friday when everyone's talking about acquiring a new customer. A thing that I think most agencies or brands get wrong is these two things: client acquisition, customer retention. One focuses on keeping, one focuses on getting. And I think when we focus too much on the getting, we forget about the people that are already in our community, in our ecosystem that we can help. And these people here immediately impact our recurring revenue, the clients we're working with, and the most important, which is referrals. You see, if you do a great job, a great service, and actually do what you say you're going to do when you work with these people, they will refer you to other people. They will tell people that you have done a good job. But that is hard to do when your mindset is fully shaped around acquisition. Because acquisition is not about that. It's not about nurturing. It's not about looking after people in the best way possible for the best results and outcomes. It is how do we get maximum people in our doors? Then we figure out how to keep them later. But 90% of every client I have ever had over the last 3 years has been a referral from one, which I didn't realize until recently, kind of going over everything. But honestly, isn't that fucking insane? And it just highlights to me the importance of looking after your clients. You may want more, you may want 10 more, 20 more, 100 more, whatever it is, the reality is you've got what you've got. And if you don't look after it, they'll either go and then you've got nothing to show for it because you never paid attention to them, you were too busy trying to get more, or you're just gonna give a horrible service. It makes no sense. So the learning that I've come to when looking at brands also trying to acquire new customers for Black Friday is not necessarily like how can we get new customers, it's how can we increase lifetime value. So for a brand where you buy like a once-off product, it's like, well, how many beach towels do I need to buy? Okay, that's completely fine. But your lifetime value with a client can be expanded with accessories, with community events, with subscriptions, with everything, okay? So there is a way for all of it. But if you only focused on new customers and didn't look after your existing ones through either like loyalty programs, free shipping, online communities, little WhatsApp groups, whatever that is, Instagram broadcast channels, huge right now, you will lose them. So across the board, if I could distill any piece of value, any lesson for this week, whether you're an agency, whether you're a founder, whether you're a creative trying to get like that next client, it's this: focus more on retention and less on acquisition. And before we go into the creative of the week, I want to share the resource of the week, which is actually another YouTube video that I saved, and I want to explain why I think it's so powerful. And it's because the opening quote says this: the only thing standing between you and that artist or creator that you idolize is that they pressed publish more times than you have, which is so true. I am on episode 10 of posting videos, and I could be upset that I'm not getting tens of thousands, maybe even 1,000 views. But if my clients came to me and said, hey, we've posted 10 videos and no customers are buying, where's the proof? Where's the social proof in what you were doing and the consistency that you're committed to this platform more than your audience is? It's very easy to post 5 YouTube videos, 10 YouTube videos, not see any return and disappear. And there's a reason people like the Casey Neistats and the Mr. Beasts all of a sudden had this massive, boom, exponential growth. What seemed overnight probably took about 5 to 7 years for both of those creators. And I think that is overlooked quite heavily, which is if you're not going to commit to this platform, why would anyone else commit to following you on it? So I would encourage you all to go and check out this guy's YouTube channel. I don't know if he's new. I should have probably done a bit more research on that, but his name is Landon Parrott, and just such incredible introspective thoughts around creativity and what we do that I think you could either watch it and feel like you're being just visually stimulated and being taken through this narrative, or you could just listen to it audio and it feels like almost a beautiful little lo-fi ASMR relaxing video. So definitely check out Landon Parrott. He is the resource of the day, and yeah, check him out. Now let's talk creative of the week. And this is no more Black Friday videos, no more Black Friday creatives, but this is something that every single brand who has more than one size or color of a product should have up and running. It's for a brand called Splash Blanket. Yes, they're a client of ours and we absolutely love working with them. They sell what originally was a sex blanket for bodily fluids that happen during intimate moments, has now expanded into whole new markets and territories where basically they are a waterproof blanket. So what do you do when you have a product that has multiple sizes, colors, and even fabrics but may look similar? How do you avoid that? Yes, you can have a frequently answered section in your website and you can be like, blah, 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 this is it. You can run an ad, but then people that see the ad are gonna see it. Or you do this. You sit and you speak to the camera and you go through the features, benefits of each individual product at the very bottom of your product page. One, you've got to think it's going to remove all objections from any emails. And if you could reduce the amount of emails that you get or DMs or horrible texts or whatever asking like, what sizes do you have? Will this be water absorbent? Does this fit on my couch? And you could condense that to a 2 to 5 minute video that you put on all of your product pages. You have not only showed that you are listening to your audience in a very visual and honest way, but you're being active in educating your clients on how to use your product, which can never be understated. So think, even if you're in fashion and you have different sizes, if you're in blankets and you have different fabrics, knives, different lengths, there is a video out there that will help you reduce sales objections that your clients have in their mind that'll let them buy more and complain less. Promise. But all right, that is it for today's episode. I'm going to smash out cooking and get back to editing. It's a big day and I'm really excited that you guys have followed along, and this is episode 10 and I absolutely am mind blown. This is the most committed I've ever been to anything on. I realized I'm pointing a knife at you when I speak like that. I'm so sorry. I realized that this is the most committed I've ever been to a platform in a very long time. And even though some of these videos get 40 views, it is so motivating to know that people are watching even 1 minute more of my time than they were last week. So thank you so much for following along. If there's anything you'd like to see more of in the future, leave a comment down below. All the links are in the bio as well. I'll see you next week.